Hi everyone, welcome to EARC 105, chapters 9 and 10. Great information here on the Block Center in chapter 9 and the Literacy Center in chapter 10. So I just want to focus on some things here and kind of highlight some things that I think are important. So on chapter 10's page 176, there are some great learning outcomes here about the history of blocks and stages. Make sure you kind of get an idea about those. But mostly I want you to understand how to develop an appropriate learning block center. So we talked about the Adelina story, and some of the history here of the stages of block building are highlighted on page 178 and 179. The pre-building, the rows and towers, the bridging. It's kind of fascinating when you see what's going on there. And then notice what they talk about in this chapter about the math and science skills that they'll be learning. So when we use words like describe, name, interpret, apply ideas, we're helping children understand some math. Symbolic representation in the block area. I like this. Ricardo said, you didn't make a store. Stores always have windows in the front. You don't have a window. Danielle answered, it is a store. Not all stores have windows. So that teacher, hearing that conversation and about the stores and windows, decided to see what stores with windows look like, and so they went on a trip through the neighborhood. So that's great with that symbolic representation. The science and literacy skills that they're learning, the social emotional, having to navigate with other children. Important stuff there. Make sure you take a look at that. Then how to design an effective center, and then all the pictures throughout are fantastic, and the information that they say to provide, travel magazines and sticky notes and order forms, even in the block center. So it's very important that you have a wide block center. I know not everybody has that luxury, but work on it. Let's see. So take a look at some of the pictures here. You can see some of the spacing there. I would love to, if they had a picture of how to save a block center, how the kids can set up their project and then save it for the next day, and maybe negotiate if you have another class that's coming in, how to work with other children and other adults. It's a great skill, so they can keep a project going. Page 189 shows the different shapes of the unit blocks, and you can see in the pictures in here how people organize those with shelf labels, and they put all the like kinds together. That's a great skill for children for sorting. And then on page 193, they talk about children not using the block center. So if you see kids aren't using the block center, make sure you've evaluated whether or not it's arranged properly, and that could be the reason why. Maybe pique their interest by taking a little field trip or bringing guests in who are builders so that you can encourage children how to use the block center. Model it yourself too. Sit in that center. Just you being there will bring kids in too. Great ideas on page 194. What are the children's interests? What are they building? What writing skills are they demonstrating in there? These are all sorts of things that you can use for documenting students' learning. Look at this, outdoor block and building centers. I really love that TP. Like to see some more of those done. So then chapter 10 talks about the literacy centers there. And there's a great story with Evangeline, and look at how much stuff. We're not at a loss for what to do in literacy centers for children. There are millions of ideas. You could get a master's degree just in studying this. But look at that child on page 200, the bottom left-hand corner. What stage of writing is she displaying there? Is that random scribble? Is it controlled scribble? Are there any letters in there from Carrot that she's copying? Is it invented spelling? So that chart over there is really important to understand how what they're doing progressively is leading towards then the future formal writing. So it's so important that you understand the whole idea of phonological awareness. That's that general idea about sounds of speech and how they're distinct from their meaning. And segmented, onsets, rhyme, phonemes, all those things are important. Print awareness is still part of literacy. Then we get into alphabet. So they've been doing a lot of listening and hearing and making sounds, and now we're talking about that principle. And that's where phonemic awareness comes in. And it's different from phonological. Phonological